Hi, welcome back. Permanent bracelets are great because there is no clasp that you have to struggle with. And because there's no clasp, it doesn't fall to the front, the clasp. So I'm a convert. However, there is a problem of if your job entails that you have to take off all jewelry, or if you have a medical procedure, what then? We still want to have the convenience of it. And in the past, there have been other hook clasp, iron hook, or magnetic clasps that were not necessarily very strong. So I want to talk about magnetic clasp made with earth magnets. And we're going to do an experiment on how strong it is. First, I am going to show you how to convert a permanent bracelet and measure it so that you can have the clasp welded on, whether or not you need to adjust the length. And then we're going to do our experiment. I hope you enjoy this. For my demonstration today, I'm going to pretend this is my only bracelet and this is the perfect position. And I want to turn my permanent bracelet into one that is very easy to use, magnetic clasp like this. And I want it exactly the same position afterwards. Let's see whether or not I have to cut any links off. First, I'm going to use a marker here, a pen, and I'm going to push it, oops, darn. I'm going to push it all the way down. It's going to be around here, this mark right here, like this. And I'm going to cut this off like such. So this would be what would happen if you were to go and get your permanent bracelet cut off. And we're going to now add our clasp and see what happens. Okay, so I've decided to use teeny tiny jump rings. And these are 2.5 millimeters, 26 gauge. And it's a bit tricky because this earth magnet sticks to steel. It doesn't stick to this because this is gold filled and not gold plated steel. Okay. So I'm going to close both sides. Oops. Yes, it is hard. Okay, make sure that it's closed because I'm going to weld it in a moment. And you don't need to straighten out the chain because it's a clasp that will open. I'm going to test out by opening this way instead of pulling on the chain because I want to see if it's the right length before I weld. You can weld first, but okay. Now, you see, it did slide longer. You see that? I'm going to take another angle shot. But this, in effect, adding the jump ring and that, went down by almost a centimeter, almost as low as this is wide. So I'm going to cut it shorter before adding the jump rings and welding it shut. Okay, so what I've done is, you see, I've looped it a little bit further down, and you can see that now it is at the right length. So you do have to cut it. I thought that this would raise, the magnet would raise it higher, so I would need more space, but I was wrong. You do have to cut out exactly the same length of chain that is now taken over by the jump ring and the jump rings and the magnet. So now I'm going to just cut off the excess here, and I'm going to weld. This is 24 gauge, and I'm going to try welding it at 5 watts power. It's a little bit tricky because this is also steel and the magnet sticks to it, but I've got it closed and I'm at 5 watts power. Now I didn't use argon, but you should if you're welding with something tiny and you want to keep the shape. With argon gas, it stops it from melting too much and you don't have oxidation. Okay, there we have it. This is done. Let's say if someone had arthritis, they just did this. Ta-da! And it does not come off. And I'm going to try to see if I can perhaps put it on my other arm and try to fling it off with force. Let's see. So if I was to do this, ta-da, closes. Now let's see if I was to fling with force, whether or not we can get rid of this. That is pretty strong. I'm trying to pull on it. Pretty good. I hope you enjoy that. I'm a wholesaler of premium quality chains and findings, as well as a distributor for Sunstone micro welders. I'm going to leave more information below about our company, and if you get the opportunity, it's not going to cost you anything to like and subscribe. It really does help my algorithm. Thank you for your support.